want to, just on the same conversation about the church. So the statistic that has been used all over the years, which I believe should be updated, 80% of Kenyans are Christian, right? Let's just go with that as a working figure for this. You know, the church will say we want someone of our own, one of our own to go and represent us. So Mwaure comes here with his, with his collar. So it's pretty evident, and his testimony. You look at like his manifesto launch, it felt like a bit of a church service in a way, but then he still doesn't get that much support. You know, like Acheng has said that that Wahiga, that the church, the people who use the church better. So what are we saying about the church? Because at a point, it was not even so much about what Wahiga was offering initially before he pronounced his manifesto or agenda. He just didn't get the support. You'd expect that the moment they see one of their own, they would, have some sort of bias initially. So what is it? Are we genuine? Is there some sense of lack of genuineness, or is it that the church, when you say some other candidates use the church better, what are we saying there?
Can I answer that question
Yes.
before Arnold and Chen comes through? The first, I think we need to, and I hope I'm right on this one. You split, when you say 80% Christian, there's that element of Christian, all right? And I know it is in 3 tiers. The first one, you have the practicing Christian. No. The first one, you have the people who claim to be Christian, yeah? By name. Can be Arnold Christian, I don't know. So you have the people like the Gabriels, you have people like Akina Peter, the people who confess to belong to the Christian faith, done. Secondly, you have now the people who are church-going Christian, people who fellowship in Christianity. And then the last are the church leadership. Those are the reverends, the pastors, and everybody else, all right? So that's how I check that tier to be. So sometimes, like Acheng had put it up, which is also right, you would have expected, many Christians to go for the reverend. But you see, even in numbers, they went for Jacoya. And I know people have been making a banter. As, hey, mudu ya bangi anashinda paka kasisi. But you see, you would still find an area where the biggest majority, the 80%, if that number is correct, and I've heard it before, I've never sat to compute whether that number is right or wrong, but it usually is the way people are identified more than the way they are practicing. And probably somebody may have a different answer.
I think Dan there actually said that there's a number we use. In the census 2019, and that is data collected from people, 85.5% of Kenyans indicated their religion is Christians. So when we are collecting data, we are building that up. We also we factor in religion for obvious reasons, because it informs a lot of things if you're going to plan. So that is an established fact. It's Kenyans themselves who told those who went to collect data. 85.5% of them actually identified as Christian. As of the debate on practicing and unpracticing and everything else, we are getting into a very dangerous place, because he doesn't have a Christianometer.
You said who goes to church?
Oh, Christianometer somewhere.
And by the way, before you forget, me and this guy were in Sunday school together.
Oh, wow. But we need to check
Yeah, we need to.
who's more
Back in the
practicing.
day.
All of us grew up within the same church.
It's true.
In Huruma,
Yeah.
born and grew up in the same area. So my point is that let's talk about what people identify with. That then will inform how they practice some, they do a number of practices and how we plan. So, did the church only have one candidate? Yes and no. Raila is a Christian. He comes from the same fraternity. Is Mwaure from the church? Yes. Did we have a candidate who was not a Christian?
And I think all of
All
them.
the four of them were Christians.
Well, we can't call into question his
No, as in
faith, but we
religion,
do know.
in fact,
right.
Wajakoya did not say anything un-Christian.
Right.
Nothing.
Weed
He
and
spoke
Christian.
about using medicinal weed And you see, even the Bible talks about
It is a popular evil,
the
man.
balm. The balm of Gilead. What would
Oh,
that
no,
balm
you
of
didn't
Gilead
go
be?
there. Oh, no. No, you can't go there. You can't
So
go there.
it is the balm of Gilead. Somewhere in the Bible, God asks, "Is there no balm for my people?"
Please, Arnold, please,
Anyway,
please.
I don't have to go there.
Don't.
My river.
And then, so he never said anything. He talked about us probably using some animals. God put us in the Garden of Eden to be stewards over his creation. Wajakoya did not say anything, and he never even spoke about people smoking bar. He said,
No,
we
but
use
he
it
did.
for-
He said on his first day in State House, if elected,
He will purify.
smoke weed.
Yeah, that is a recreational. And by the way, there is nowhere in the Bible where it is against people smoking weed. You show me that verse. There's no verse. So let's move on quickly.
Just
I just
because
wanted us to
there's no
say
verse does not
that the
mean-
four verse, that the four candidates in the race were all Christians. So the church has had its way and say, because there was no atheist. There was no other religion actually in that particular race.
All right.
So, because even Wajakoya identifies as a Christian, so I don't know why we actually want to take him off the hook. The thing David Mwaure represents is the clergy. It is
Yes.
the prophet. It is the altar. It is the leadership of the church.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So we
he's
should have that distinguished.
So we need to
Right.
distinguish that.
Right.
Otherwise, everyone the Christians believe all of us have got different houses. They even, in their own way, think that even Christianity, as in Islam, is just an extension of Christianity. The ones who actually are general, like the Catholics, will tell you, no, you ni nyumba yetu ndogo. So they have no problem with it. So they will actually tell you, that is our house, but a different way of looking at it. So now, can we talk about the church leadership and what it actually represents? I think David Mwaure, symbolically, like I said, his concession is symbolic. He's actually showing goodwill that you step down, whether you are close or not. Two, he has actually pointed people to where we are going. Those two things start socializing people. I know people will say, not socializing, that is conditioning. No, it is socializing us to start accepting that this is the way we are. And Martin Luther said this one time, that we shall have to create leaders who embody the virtues we respect. And at different times, people respect different virtues. Currently, the way I feel, I think the nation feels like being a hustler, going all out and working. We talk about hustling your ass off, right? That's the language that people use in the streets. It's actually a virtue the nation at the moment embodies, and they are creating leaders out of that. So probably that's where we are headed. And in this struggle, our hands must be clean. That is why I think David Mwaure has actually decided that he will not just exit. He will tell people that from the projections, this is where it is.
Yeah.
And he has actually done the honorable thing and tell people that is going to be the leader of our nation. The leader of where we are headed. So why do we refuse? Well, why are we even judging him for that?